America, land of the free, home of the brave, and very confused when a toilet has 2 buttons. What's up, everybody? Today we're going to be diving into 20 things that are totally normal in Europe that absolutely freak Americans out. So buckle up, because this list will make you want to apply for dual citizenship. And of course, before we get started, as always, make sure you subscribe and hit that like button. So let's talk about those 2-button toilets. Okay, so imagine you've just finished doing your business in a European bathroom. You look down and the toilet has not 1, but 2 buttons. Welcome to eco-conscious toilet tech. The small button is for
light work,
and the bigger button, as you might have noticed, is for the heavy-duty stuff you might be releasing from your bowels. It's all about saving water, people. Americans, on the other hand, are still using fire hose pressure for a teaspoon of pee. Ain't nobody thinking about the water bill when your toilet sounds like a jet engine. Okay, but let's move on to the next thing. Bidets, the booty fountain of the future. Europeans do not play when it comes to personal hygiene. Enter the bidet. It's a magical porcelain device, sometimes separate and sometimes built into the toilet, that shoots a fountain of water into your nether regions. It's refreshing, efficient, and honestly, kinda glorious. In America, though, it's still seen as this exotic, suspicious contraption. Like, is it a sink for tiny people? No, Karen, it's a better way of life. Let's talk about roundabouts real quick. Driving in Europe sometimes means driving through these circular intersections called roundabouts. Now, we do have them in America as well, but with these roundabouts, you yield, merge, and exit just like you would in America. It's all in a smooth, flowing circle. Think of it as like synchronized driving ballet. But in America, they're not as common, and they are terrifying because people do not know how to drive. Most drivers, in fact, treat them like a death trap. They either stop completely wrong or they drift like they're in Need for Speed. Whew. Now, another thing that Europe definitely does totally normal that Americans are like, oh my gosh, this can't be, is charging for ketchup. Let's talk about that real quick. In Europe, especially in fast food spots, do not be surprised if the server asks you if you want any condiments like ketchup, mustard, whatever, and then turns around and charges you for it. Yep. Condiments are a luxury. Meanwhile, in America, ketchup is practically a human right. We scoop it by the fistfuls from dispensers and hoard it like we're about to prepare for the apocalypse. Okay. Oh my gosh. And this is very important because I've seen this on so many forums. Americans just cannot grasp the concept of legally being able to drink at 18. Let's talk about that. It's Adulting European Edition. In most of Europe, 18-year-olds are allowed to drink alcohol. Crazy concept. I know. Some countries are even more relaxed within Europe, with 16 being the age that you're allowed to consume alcohol. Specifically, Germany allows people who are 16 to drink beer and wine. The idea is, hey, let's normalize this instead of making it taboo. In America, you can go to war, vote, take out loans at 18, buy a damn gun, but guess what you can't do? Bingo, drink alcohol. It don't make no sense. You can't even smoke until you're 21 as well. It's just weird. It's weird. I don't understand what the logic is behind that. I actually do. It has everything to do with capitalism. Money, money, money. Money, money, you would think that it'd be making more money if it allowed people of a younger age to do that, but it doesn't make any sense, so we're moving on to the next point, which is baguette vending machines. Yes, I know. Sounds crazy, but not that wild of a concept in Europe. France literally said, we got you. Yes, in France, there are vending machines that dispense fresh baguettes. Not chips, not soda, not M&Ms or Starburst, freshly made baguettes. This is not a drill. Book your flight now and apply for dual citizenship. I'm not sure it works in that order, but you know what I'm saying. You pop in €1 and out pops a crusty, soft, delicious delicacy from a machine, and it's a baguette. Oh my God. But you know what else we might want to look into? Those tiny cars that possibly can fit into your backpack. I'm exaggerating a bit, but you get my drift. They're very common in Europe, actually. Europeans drive these little eco-friendly cars that look like they were built in a damn doll factory. Think smart cars, Fiats, Renaults. Parking, by the way, very easy. Fuel economy, chef's kiss. In America, we treat cars like status symbols and emotional support dogs. If it doesn't seat 8 and tow a damn trailer, it's not safe. Now, in Europe, unlike America, you are allowed 4 weeks minimum of paid vacation. Like what? European workers get between 4 to 6 weeks of paid vacation by law. Now tell that to an American and watch them seize the fuck up, okay? Because that is not even a reality here. That is not a reality at all. Like, get this, it's not a perk, it's a right. People actually get to go on vacations like Spain, Greece, Croatia, and not have to worry about clocking in the next day or even the next week. That's insane. That is insane. In the US though, we'll be humble bragging about our 3 days off while we're still answering work emails on the beach while we're cooking in the sun like we're in an oven. Public nudity. Yeah. Saying that already probably made a lot of Americans cringe. Even my inner soul. I'm like, oh my God. Being nude in public in America is very taboo. But nude beaches in Europe, totally normal. Naked saunas, cultural staple. Europe has an extremely chill attitude when it comes to the human body. Unlike America, where they treat that like the bubonic plague for some reason. If you take your shirt off, your pants off, whatever, it's like, oh my God, put it away. Ew, gross. I'll never understand that. Now, one thing that I think separates Europe from America are its medieval castles. It's just a normalcy in Europe, right? In America, you catch an American traveling to Europe, we will always be mind blown when we look at those castles because we're like, how do y'all have all of these damn castles here? Oh my gosh, we have houses made out of pencils, okay? So having a long-standing structure like that is unheard of. For instance, you'll just be driving along Germany or Austria and then boom, a stone fortress that will make your jaw drop. Oh, and let's move on to this next topic. Trains that actually work and don't smell like the ninth circle of hell. Let's talk about that. Want to go from Paris to Amsterdam? Too easy. Hop on a high-speed train and be there in 3 hours, sipping wine like royalty. America's rail system, well, we do have the Amtrak. It's 40 years old and always delayed, and some would argue can be outrun by squirrels. I will say that there is a slight caveat though. Germany's Deutsche Bahn, I've had personal experience with this. While the train itself is very nice, that is one train system that will never arrive on time. So if you want to be thoroughly disappointed when you travel to Europe, try the Deutsche Bahn. It's fun if you have nowhere to be, but if you do, oh my gosh, it goes against every German stereotype. So good luck and GG's. Now, this is one thing that I had some trouble with when I traveled to Europe, and it is a strong contrast to America, and it's literally paying to take a piss, okay? Crazy work. Yep, it's a thing in public bathrooms in Europe. Maybe not every country, but most. Often clean and well maintained, but not free. You might have to toss in 50 cents or €1. In the US, the public bathrooms are free, but it's gonna look like there were several people probably unalived in them bathrooms. Now, I'm about to mention something that will make every American shudder, all right? Even myself. The metric system. I felt a little tingle down my spine when I said that. Yeah, the metric system is something that the rest of the world uses, and America just can't seem to get on the same program. So let's get into that real quick. It's simple, it's logical, and it's completely ignored by Americans. Every country in Europe uses the metric system. Very simple. And Americans, well, we measure things in gallons, football fields, and about yay big. And people look at us like we're crazy. This is also going to make Americans shiver in their timbers when you hear tipping is not a requirement in Europe, and that is a great normalcy that is not seen in America. This has been something that's been on the rise, though, as far as the average American being infuriated over the last few years. Now, where it was expected for you to tip servers and whatnot, up until maybe like 5 years ago, tipping has gotten so out of control in America that you'll buy something from a taco stand and they'll spin the thing around and be like, gratuity? Or, get this, self-checkout has the option to tip the self-checkout counter in America. That's crazy. In Europe, the staff are actually paid livable wages. So you can relax. You can actually tip people based on how well they do their job and not feel like you're pressured to do it because you have to and they don't get paid enough. So tipping is either included in the price or totally optional. In the US, the waiters and waitresses live off of your tips because they get paid under minimum wage. And if you dare not tip at least 15%, you are looked at as a monster. Have you ever heard of pedestrian-only city centers? Well, they have a lot of those in Europe. Let's talk about that. Many European cities actually have districts where cars are totally banned. That's insane because that's unseen in America. It's all cobblestones, cafes, buskers playing violins, and zero exhaust fumes. In the US, however, even the walkable cities require a lift to get across the street. So take that as you will. Now, another normal thing that is in Europe that Americans will absolutely lose their minds about are church bells that actually work. Churches in Europe often have bells that ring every hour or even every 15 minutes. It's charming. In the US, most church bells are digital because HOA Karen was complaining that it was interrupting her yoga. Now let's go ahead and talk about another controversial normalcy in Europe that Americans, again, would do backflips and hit splits over. Would even make some Americans consider dieting if they came across this difference. All right, and it has to do with water and gas. Let's talk about that. It's not soda, it's a lifestyle. If you ask for water in Europe, they'll ask you sparkling or still. And you're like, what? Just give me some water. And they will default to sparkling water. So that's a normal thing out there. In fact, I was heavily against this when I went to Europe, and even before I even landed in Europe for a while until I got to try it regularly. And now I can't go too long without drinking sparkling water. It's so good. What if I told you for this next difference, wine is cheaper than water in some countries in Europe? Would you believe me? Because it's true. And no, I'm not kidding. In Italy or Spain, you can find a decent bottle of wine that costs less than a bottle of water at a restaurant. It's not just affordable, it's practical. In the US, cheap wine tastes like grape flavored battery acid. So good luck and good riddance. Oh gosh. And last but not least, we have small local shops instead of big mega church level shopping centers. In Europe, most people buy their food from bakeries, butchers, or local food markets. Kind of like some rom-com in Paris or something. In America, we go to one gigantic mega-sized grocery store that sells 60 rolls of toilet paper in one pack and, you know, rifle ammunition, different guns, different types of food that are sold in bulk, and school supplies and electronics. It's crazy. It's like a one-stop shop, one-size-fits-all kind of dealio. So there you have it. 20 things that are totally normal in Europe that Americans would do backflips and hit splits over if it existed in America. A lot of these things I wish we had, unfortunately. We don't. So pray for your fellow American, and I will see you in the next video. Make sure you like this video and subscribe. Take care. Peace.